Hello again, everyone. How's it going today? Happy Wednesday. We are back for some more Lego building. Continuing with the Ninjago City Markets, we have moved on to booklet number 2. So starting off with bag number 20. So we got 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30 for the lower part. And then we merge them together with 31, 32, and 33. I have the main model off to the side here, ready to pull out if we get that far. Probably not, considering how far we got in 6 hours on Monday. But we shall see. Alright, let's put the large bricks to the side. Just mostly Technic pieces here. There we go. So I am doing pretty well myself. I was going to do stuff today, but then I decided to have a lazy day. I like lazy days. Alright, so starting down in the corner. Oh, right. We need 20 and 21. My bad. There's 21. Silly me. Actually. Smaller pieces down there. Howdy, Ice Oven. How's it going? There's a planned power outage tomorrow. Are they doing some work or something? Seal and mortar on a three stream streak. Nice. Fantastic. I really am glad that those finally got rolled out to me, because it was really annoying. Like, it was really, really annoying to see people who streamed less consistently than me have that, and I didn't. It's definitely a way to feel appreciated by your platform. Really, really is. I mean, let's face it, it's not like Twitch or YouTube actually give a crap about us at all. But it would be nice if they faked it, you know? It would be nice if they faked it. Alright. Some friction pins here and there. Alright, now the white corner Technic beams. Bricks. If wishes were fishes, indeed. Indeed. Then I'd actually have something to put inside my perfect aquarium. There is a Lego aquarium coming out. I don't know if I'll get it. It's a Lego idea set. It's a bit expensive, I feel. So I'll probably wait until it goes on sale. I mean, I would like it, but... At the same time, I did have the perfect aquarium in Dragon Quest Builders 2. Well, Bunny isn't here to troll with my aquarium. I mean, she may watch the VODs, I don't know. What do you feed Lego fish? You feed them Lego fish food. So that, like, there's a, one of the things that tempts me to get it, though, is that there is going to be a gift with purchase when it comes out that will have a container of fish food. And I do like free Lego that you have to pay a lot of money to get, you know? That's how free works. Alright, let's see. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, and the fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Alright. Okay, there we go. Alright. We'll get our lavender. It's a different shade of lavender than the old lavender. I need to break one of those out. I would have to get up for that, dang it. Actually, that's kind of tempting. I have something I could show off interesting that I don't think I've showed off on camera. But I'd have to get up, and I'm lazy, you know? Actually, I also just, want to build. I mean, you can feed your enemies to the Lego fish. That is true. There should be another one of those, and there it is. Okay, slide that through there. And this one right there. The idea of a Lego aquarium sounds neat. It's pretty nice. It looks really nice, actually. I did post it, I think a couple weeks ago on the Discord. Alright. Let's see. Lots of 2x3s. And Ice Oven also gets a 3-stream streak. Nice. This does mean that people will have to start coming to all the streams if they want those delicious, delicious bonus hams. There, that is 3 from the end. I have 1x2. 1x2 Technic brick. Okay, actually, I am going to step away for just a second to grab something. I do want to show it. It's interesting. I can just put it to the side. I mean, one of the reasons why I moved where I'm building is so that I have easier access to things to show off as I move things around and everything like that. So this doesn't actually have the name on it because it wasn't released here in the US in stores. This is 5840 Garden Playmates, a Belleville set. It is sealed. I could totally build this, but doesn't exactly have a whole lot of pieces. But it's pretty interesting. It has 2 puppers and an adult dog. But the fun thing, one of the reasons why I got this and multiple copies, mint condition for the collector's market. Well, it is a little crunched up here. And unfortunately, This set does not go for very much. I don't know why. I mean, there's some basic parts, fairly basic parts, so that's kind of one of the reasons why. But it does have old light pink flowers. It does have a classic palm tree, which, to be fair, there's a lot of them. A pale green hairbrush, which I don't think they make that. Well, they may make that color. This large brick, which... Yeah, it's 24 by 24, but with a curved cutout. But the main reason why I got it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 old lavender fences, lattice fences, and a gate. And these gates were not that common. Feels very 80s, 90s. It's because it was 90s. Also, the old dark pink, magenta slopes. I don't think that's the same color that they're using anymore. So, as I find some of the parts for this, I'll actually pull out the various parts and show them off at some point. But because I have a bunch that I did open, partly it was to get like all these column pieces and the fencing. But it is a different color than this. This is the current lavender, and this is the old lavender. So, interesting stuff. I don't know why they changed the colors quite so often. Why do the FF4 bosses feel like they're geared towards players over-leveling? They aren't geared towards players over-leveling? Probably because they aren't geared towards players over-leveling. Did you consider that? Who did you straight up murder this time? Let's see, 5 arches. They should have been. Okay, dark gray, Technic brick. The Mount Hobbs bomb boss. Yeah, I know, it's so weird. It's like they didn't expect players to just abuse the system to try to get rare drops. I don't know what it is, you know? I mean, at least you won't have to do that again for a little while, right? Fight enemies constantly until you get your particular drop. Grind Tella to 99, see how bad his stats get. I mean, they can only go so low. And I think it's only his physical stats that go down. I don't think his mental stats go down. And that's specifically because he's old. It is mimicking the D&D age mechanic. But they also might have pulled that out of that part of the game, too. Or that version of the game, I should say. Alright, 2x6. Wish you could farm Soma drops so you could boost Tella's MP. You just want to be able to cast Immediate. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's why they made it so that you cannot get those early on. So that you cannot get into a situation where Tella can cast Immediate. Huh. 1x1 plate flower in the center, in between studs here. There we go. Alright, dark gray. Log bricks. So we're back to the Suikoden music again. I didn't get any content ID on the first video, but it might be that I don't because I can't monetize those videos yet. So I'm not sure right now. Like, once I monetize, that might kick in. I wouldn't think so, because I'm pretty sure, like, if you're not monetizing, Content ID allows advertisers to, or the content owner to monetize them. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So that's good so far. The segment on your upload today that was claimed because you played a little music from Spirit City lo-fi sessions between segments. Yeah. Were you actually talking, or was that a section that you, like, stepped away at? Because you could then just, like, mute that or something. I really hate that they took out the old editor that allowed you to actually edit videos on YouTube. You were talking after a few moments. So not something that you'd want to just, like, cut out entirely. Come on, get through. There we go. Alright, and then through here. Not sure how successful it'll be. Yeah, I mean, it's all a crapshoot. I still have 2 videos on. Like, I've basically given up at this point. I need to dig up my original VODs of the my original video files of the XCOM files streams that the 2 that are currently blocked. Because if I can find those, I'll try uploading them again and editing them and see if they will work. Because right now the 2 that are stuck in hell are just not working at all. Like they're not making any changes. I don't think. I don't know what the problem is, but they're not. Like, even when it says that it does the processing, I don't think it does. So I'm hoping if I upload the originals, I just need to find them. They're on a hard drive sitting around someplace. And I should probably move them onto a more accessible device. Just in case. That's one reason why I keep all these things, even though it does take up a crap ton of space. I had to order another external drive, just for old storage. Oh, man. Howdy, Minor Trader. How's it going? Alright. Getting kitty cuddles. You're not sharing them with the rest of the class. Okay, that goes there, and that goes there. idea what's going on here. Yep. You're talking about with your manager about a long-term archival media, and it's basically a toss-up between MDisk, which is limited space, and LTO, which is pretty high initial investment and no guarantee of tape drive compatibility later. Yeah. Like at this point, I think the best archival solution really is just a RAID array with good monitoring and multi redundancy. I'm not sure how Kitty would handle teleportation and the failure chance for unknown destination is high. It's fine. It would be fine. Kitties are inherently magical. Like, I don't know that there's anything that's you're gonna be able to put stuff on, put it away, and pull it out later and it'll work just fine kind of thing. Well, but like, if you've got good monitoring, then and you actually see, one of the reasons why I don't have a RAID array right now is that I had one and I didn't realize that there were some failures, so I lost data. And I got to it and I kind of was just like, you know what, screw it. It's like not that important at this point. You only turn it on when you do backups. Found out why you couldn't send CK to China after Tibet. It's because China currently loves Buddhists and Tibet is Buddhist. It's understandable. Go. Yeah, I mean, making sure that you've got parity on a RAID array and swapping out hard drives as needed as they fail. Giving you a Ship of Theseus issue there. I like, it's probably, you know, it's certainly not going to be the cheapest setup, but I do think that it is the long-term best because you can always then upgrade the RAID array. Okay, and this now goes right here. So I like that we get a smooth slope here, because we get a half plate height. That's pretty cool. You'd rather have something you can burn and be permanent for archival, and then use your NAS for data that changes often? Yeah, I mean, that's understandable. Unfortunately, I don't know that we know of anything that is really going to do that. Get a little froggy on here. Because again, part of the problem is that even if you have something, there's no guarantee it's going to be readable later because you know, I mean, we can read CDs, DVDs, and Blu-ray drives on those, you know, from the same thing. But what if they stop being able to read CDs, kind of thing? And someone has put their stuff on CDs. Well, now that's, you know, you're out of luck there. That's one of the advantages of keeping the data live. CDs are great. Well, CDs can get rot. Like, that's one of the problems with CDs and DVDs. I don't know if CDs are as affected by that as DVDs, but I know that DVD rot is a real thing. I need to look through my DVD collection and see if I have anything that's affected by that, and probably start ripping things to make sure that I can still watch them. M-Disc is great until no one makes disc readers anymore. Yeah, exactly. Like, I was working at a place that had some stuff on 8-inch floppies, but where are you going to get an 8-inch floppy disk drive these days that is compatible with modern equipment? Were the floppies in a RAID config? I don't think you can put floppies in a RAID config, and I know you're joking, but still. Later production of CD, DVDs were far cheaper production, lower quality? Yeah. Well, I'm sure it's a mixture of things. Funnily enough, 3.5 floppies are popular enough that they're USB drives. Yeah. That, at least, is still something that you can do. And I have a whole box full of those that I need to probably try to start getting data off of. Backed up your files to a flash drive as there's a Windows 11 update that has a bug that can corrupt installs. Didn't realize until after you installed the update. Do floppies corrupt after time? They can, like... They can suffer failures. I think they can rot, and certainly, like, humidity and stuff can damage them and stuff like that. I did not get these in. Right there, yeah. Nothing lasts forever, unfortunately. Everything breaks down over time. You have a friend who has salvaged old floppies numerous times for Japanese computers? Luckily, all of my floppies are DOS. I think I might actually have some Mac floppies around here somewhere, and that at least is still readable. And I do have a USB floppy drive somewhere around here. I just need to get the two things together and take the time to get the data off. That one goes there, and this one goes over here. A lot of games are lost media. So many bedroom developers in the old days, yep. And even if the game itself is available, the source code usually isn't. Where does this 1x3 go? Okay. There's a 1x3 that was supposed to get put in somewhere. And I don't know where. So that's that one. I suppose it's possible that this is an extra. Right here. There we go. Okay, found it. Alright, so spare parts, a green 1x1 plate flower, that's it. Okay, number 22. Like, it's such a shame that we never got the add-on, the expansions for Unlimited Adventures that they planned, and that we then also never got the source code to do it ourselves. Why is this background music so familiar, yet you can't place it? It's because it's from Suikoden. The game that I was just playing on stream. What was the DLC going to be? Oh, well, it was a... I guess technically, well, wouldn't have been DLC at the time. But the expansion, they were going to do a Kryn expansion. So we would have gotten Knights and Draconians and stuff like that. Because one of the big problems with Unlimited Adventures is that it's very, like, you can't add in your own special powers, your own spells, your own classes, natively, I should say. You're being lazy. A DLC is quicker than expansion pack. I mean, you could have just said, what were they planning to make? I'm just teasing you. It's okay. There is an element of amusement that I have with the people complaining about DLCs when it's like, they used to do that back in the day, and they just called it expansion packs. I mean, some of the first real DLC that I remember was for Total Annihilation. Can't abuse the class creation rules? Darn. Nope. And like one of the things that I find most fascinating about Unlimited Adventures is that the specific version of the engine used for that was only used in Dark Queen of Kryn. And yet, Unlimited Adventures was programmed for the Forgotten Realms. So it's like they could obviously do that in that specific engine, but they were going to have it as an expansion, and they just, I guess it didn't sell well enough, or they didn't keep the license. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure they kept the license, though. Most expansion packs were substantial additions of content. Yes, yes, that is the case. But part of that was because they had to justify a whole separate release, basically. It was a rare case of a console expansion. There was a shmup on Saturn that had a game-breaking bug, so they had to release it again to fix it. While they were at it, they added new content to it. There are games that got... I mean, yeah, like a game-breaking bug, I guess, would, definitely might warrant some things. On the other hand, there are definitely cases where there are game-breaking bugs that just exist in a game. Oh, wait. That was not an extra 1x1 flower plate. That was supposed to go there. Oops. Alright, that was not extra. Well, so what I mean, like, there's different versions of the Gold Box engine. The Savage Frontier games use a different version than some of the others and stuff like that. I mean, obviously things are a lot of them are pretty compatible with each other, but they completely revamped the data files, the data file structure, or a lot of the data file structures for Dark Queen of Krynn and Unlimited Adventures compared to the other games. And I don't think any of the other games actually use that file structure. So it's just interesting that you have the, you have the version of the game that was released for a game itself, and then you have a version used for the construction set that doesn't have all of the data of the original. To me, that is just kind of bizarre. Japanese version of Seiken Densetsu 2, you had to fight each boss up to 5 times because the game kept soft-locking after every single boss? Wow. Were you emulating it, though? Because that might be an emulation issue. I haven't heard of that issue existing. Real cart, real console? Oh, alright. Alright, let's turn it around here. Oh, Seiken Densetsu 2. I was thinking about Seiken Densetsu 3. You're right. Not that I've heard of that either, but I have not heard very much about Seiken Densetsu 2 Japanese. So that might have been a known bug. I don't know. Yeah, Seiken Densetsu 2 is Secret of Mana. I hate that we had like a 60% finished Seiken Densetsu 3 for the US market, and they canceled it. I hate that. I hate that so much. Final Fantasy 2 and 3 were similar. There were real plans to release them. Ald burns with rage. Only at Seagulls. Only at Seagulls. Alright, there we go. More tiling. Now let's do all of this tiling. Yeah, EU, like, as much as I complain about that kind of thing, EU definitely got way more screwed than we did. And yet, they got Terranigma, and we didn't. So I guess it's a wash, really. I mean, honestly, like, looking at, Dragon Quest games, the US missed out on 5 and 6, and 5 is one of the great ones. Terranigma would be hell for poor Ted Woolsey. It's fine. Alright, this may have been an extra piece for the previous bag. 1x1 dark gray cylinder tile, because there weren't any in this, and there were the 2 here from the previous bag. I think it might have just been over here on the gray. Alright, bag number 23. One missing game versus 7, if you say so. I was joking. I was joking. I still need to play Terranigma one of these days, too. I remember getting stuck very early on in the early days of emulation. I need to go back and not be stuck. So you're saying that Terranigma is pretty good. All right, black pants. He's got a blue dragon on his shirt. And a teacup. There we go. Okay, where are we? Okay, we are on this side here. Soul Blazer I am fond of for the times I played it as a youngin' renting it from a Blockbuster Video. Illusion of Gaia, I had played a little bit at a friend's house. It's funny how old RPG players all have a link to one Canadian translator. I have a link to an American translator. I have even played one of the games that he worked on. I knew one of the people, well, I still know, I mean, one of the people who worked on Lunar. Something, a sad pig self-sacrifice, something, yeah. When Arnold was a wee dragon. Yes, indeed. Just a wee dragon. A wee wormling. One could even say a dragon whelp. My friend has some not kind things to say about what's his name from Working Designs. Alright, I need... there it is. And 1x2 grill tile there. I need to play Lunar 2 one of these days as well. I'll get to it eventually, maybe. Possibly. Alright, flip it around. I think this probably got picked up by the turn. I don't think it's something that I did not put down. Lunar is a series you still need to play through. It's pretty fun. Some Working Designs unscripted bits have not aged well. Oh, no, they have really not aged well at all. And not even, like... the anachronistic references haven't aged well, but not as badly as some of the other parts. Well, the new version should be better then, because I think they've completely retranslated it. And I've heard that the like the Steam versions that got released are completely retranslated, so. Alright, let's see. 1x2 with clip there. Well, I would say it was common, more so than par for the course. There's plenty of stuff that didn't have that kind of thing. Alright, get that in there, and then a wedge plate. You have an ad break coming up. But yeah, far more common than it should have been. '90s cartoons and inappropriate jokes. I've been rewatching some Disney, some old Disney cartoons and from the '90s, '80s and '90s, and luckily they didn't do that very often that I have noticed. You can be thankful for small favors, kind of thing. Like. Oh, these dark blue 1x1 bricks are printed on the side. Actually, zoom in on those. We haven't actually done anything with them yet. Those are pretty neat. Neat little designs on them. Alright, 1x1 quarter cylinder. There it is. It was hiding amongst the gray. There we go. Dad and you have been watching the 90s Rescue Rangers lately. It's freaking fantastic. Neither of you have seen the cartoon fully, only bits and pieces. Oh yeah, Rescue Rangers is great. Gargoyles has really held up well. DuckTales, Tailspin, Gummy Bears. I mean, like, you can see with Gummy Bears, for example, how, like, what evolved. Like, there's still a lot of creating it like earlier things, but you can also see the influence that, you know, they were currently working on the Black Cauldron at the time. There's some pretty clear influence there. Alright, make a little flower planter. I'm currently on a Gargoyles rewatch binge right now. Gargoyles, in particular, has a shockingly stacked cast, you know? And not just the, those leaves look like feet. They do kind of, they have been used as, like, duck feet. Like, I'm not even just talking about the Star Trek reunion. I mean, Tony J shows up, Jean Rhys Davies shows up, Clancy Brown is there. W. Morgan Shepherd. I mean, to be fair, some of these people are character actor people that you will recognize if you know, watch a lot of stuff that has character actors in it, but yeah, the main actor is Keith David in almost every episode. I remember when I first, like, does anyone remember the show that was on Sci-Fi, Eureka? I remember the first time I tuned into that. I mean, it was, you know, first episode. And just, like, double-taking and being like, that's Elisa Maza! There you go. Turn that there, and that goes right there. A tea table, inverted. One of the Sci-Fi Channel shows you remember most was Who Wants to Be a Superhero? I don't remember that at all. I loved Eureka. Alright, so spare parts. We have a 1x1 cylinder plates in white and gray. 1x1 cylinder plate in black with hollow stud. 1x1 plate flower in light aqua. 1x1 tile in beige. White teacup. Brown bar with clip. And clear 1x1 cylinder tile with top peg as our spare parts. And next up, just bag 24. All right. Let's see, who else? Richard Grieco was a character in Gargoyles. Robert Culp shows up. Biff Tannen is Matt Bluestone. Sheena Easton was in an episode. David Warner. Good actors. So many good actors in that show. And then you get to the whole fact that there's a whole Star Trek reunion going on. Alright, let's see. A 2x3. Oh, there's a 2x3. You're still looking for the Angela Lansbury episode? Of what? You know, let's go ahead and snooze these ads a little bit longer. Damn it, I was getting to that. You were getting to that? I mean, Laura San Giacomo was Fox. Matt Frewer. Matt Frewer is in it. Always love Max Headroom when he shows up. Why isn't Max Headroom on a streaming platform right now? You were joking about Gargoyles and the cameos. You know of no Angela Lansbury cameo episode? I didn't think there was. I think I would have known that. Wait. No. That is not correct. That is... I need a 1x3. There we go. There we go. Alright, 2 1x3s back here. There's a couple other names that I'm trying to... It's like just on the tip of my tongue as well. What does it mean to be a superhero? I don't know. I'm just a normal hero, not a superhero. I think what it means to be a superhero is that you're a 5e character. Oh, I'm terrible. Let's see. Dark gray, a 1x2 Technic brick. There it is. No, that's Lord. Level 9 is becoming a Lord. Wear a red cape and underwear on top of your outfit. Oh, where did I put that? Ah, up here. There we go. Completely forgot about this, this bag here. Alright, so we have a almost Snap style girder section. Get that right in there. Beyond 9th level, you don't really gain new titles in 1E. Katsushi was the Weird Sisters, yeah. All 3 of them. Should probably get back to work. Nah. Nah. Just tell your boss that you're watching me, and your boss will be like, oh, that makes perfect sense. I understand. I was too. Alright. 2 groove bricks there. And there. Should go make dinner shortly? Dinner. Yeah, I never really liked that part. Luckily, my players have really dragged their feet on doing stuff that I require of them to get followings and everything like that, so makes it easier for me when I don't have to worry about that. There we go. 1x8s as well. Alright. Okay, now I can't snooze the ads anymore, so they are really incoming in 5 minutes. There we go. Alright, on top of this part, 4x6 half tile and a 1x6 plate. Honestly, you feel like fighting encounters would be best handled by older DMs who can actually plan a challenging encounter? Well, I saw a whole thing about how they planned out like fights to be a certain way, but because of the rest mechanics, they don't end up being that way or something like that. And to me, it's like, it's kind of the problem is planning it out in so minute detail. Like, people will have X number of abilities to use in this fight. Like, I don't know, that it rubs me the wrong way. Well, so part of it is also, you know, if you can't force people to play a certain way. If you expect people to play a certain way, but they find other ways to play, they will do so. So if things are planned around playing a specific way, that's really just going to break down. It's going to break down somewhere. That's what I like. Like one of 2E's like stated recommendations in the DMG is changing things on the fly. If you made an encounter too difficult or too easy, here's what you can do to correct that kind of thing. And I do really feel like later editions got away from that idea, that you're allowed to correct things on the fly. Just add a couple of AD&D ghosts to the encounter and watch the PCs age into dust. Yeah, there's a reason why I haven't had any ghosts show up. Come across a warlock demanding to take short rests every 10 seconds. Tell them they should have taken Eldritch Blast. Lazy bastards. Well, that's when you have an encounter and say, you guys didn't get enough rest. Oh, and you're pretty sure that you can hear other things coming up now behind him. You gotta move on. Alright, so ad break is about to start. Let's go ahead and get back to our Books Are My Passion build. Don't have a whole lot left to do on that. Oh, it lost my place. Whoops. Where were we? I knew I should have checked that. Usually it remembers. Okay. Goblin you killed actually had tons of dynamite in its pocket. Now half of your characters are in multiple pieces. Too many GMs feel constrained by to the die rolls. Yeah. Like I was discussing something with the guy that I perennially discuss things with, because I am constantly fascinated by his point of view. He's like, anyone other than a thief can never sneak. And it's like, no, anyone can sneak. They may not succeed, and they're not going to be as preternaturally good at it, but anyone can sneak. The idea that only a thief can sneak, period, because they have moved silently, hide in shadows, is just this bizarre idea. Like this bizarre thing that you only get if you are like really hidebound by the rules. Like really hidebound by the rules. The rules are a guide to like describing the real world of the game. Curiously terrified to ask what a 10th level fireball would even look like. Actually, it would look like the same as a first level fireball. It would just do more damage. Like, the size of a fireball does not change. Goddamn, these added these cliffhangers. Yes, yes. See, I'm trying to get you guys to turn off the ads. Alright, let's turn the globe to the proper side of the planet. I just realized that I'm probably going to finish this side build today. Person in full plate armor can sneak. They can. They will probably fail. Well, and it's... And anyone can try to do anything. We got a letter put on there. And an ink quill. Luckily, there's only a minute left of ads. But yeah, so like the size of a fireball doesn't change by level. Anyone can find and remove traps too. Thieves just have a better chance of surviving. Well, so it's not so much that anyone can find or remove a trap. And Minor Trader gifting a sub to Lord Canis, so he doesn't have to deal with the ads anymore. Thank you very much. Well, it doesn't have to deal with the ads for another month. So a non-thief, what it is, like there's an element of intelligence you need to play your characters with. I guess I'll wait until the ads are done, because other people might want to hear it. Felt it was a good thing to do. I certainly appreciate it, and I'm sure he does too. Alright, so that'll be the ladder. Alright, so on the matter of not having a thief and traps, there's an element of players need to play smartly. And if you don't have a thief, it's not so much that other people can find a trap as you can try to figure out ways to set it off safely. And admittedly, that is some of what a thief does, but a thief gets to just roll a check. If you're a fighter and you think there's a trap, you know, on a door, you can try to, you know, if you're not going to know exactly what the trap is, but you can hope that it's something that, you know, like if it's a needle trap, if you smash the door down, you're probably safe from a needle trap. Missed it by them finding and removing is to physically setting them off, while the thief can detect them without setting it off. Yeah. Essentially. Trap on a door, make the beefiest guy smash his head against every door. Like, I mean, if you, and Minor Trader also gifting a sub to Not a Rogue AI. Thank you very much. You know, a trap that is set off by you, smashing, like, passing through a door frame, it's not going to help much if you bash the door in. But, you know, you can also, you know, tell the dungeon master that you're like prepared for that, and you're going to try to protect yourself in some way. And the dungeon master can give you a saving throw bonus for that. If there's a needle trap and a lock, yeah, you can just kick the door down. Needle trap doesn't matter if no one's hand is near the doorknob. Needle trap on a chest, rip the lid of the chest off. Let me turn these, try to get them a little bit easier to do. There we go. Or the wizard could cast Knock. Needle Trap's not going to do anything if you knock a door open. The trap is activated by moving through the door. Could you throw something in first? It depends on what triggers it. If it's triggered by anything passing through, then yeah, you could throw something through, or lead with a battering ram or table or chair or something. That's why it's important for a dungeon master to decide what actually triggers a trap. Oh, you know what? Oh, yep, I screwed that up. That's why it's not going on. That is a 1x3 right there, not a 2x3. Yep, there we go. Easily goes on. Have the wizard cast Fireball, because Fireball solves everything. I mean, it certainly can solve many things. Like that really does get to the point of, like, every party in 2E is viable. You just have to find your own creative solutions to situations. In Baldur's Gate it does. You don't know the rules of chess, you threw some fireballs until the game told you you won. I mean, if you fireball your opponent, who's to say you didn't win, right? Right? He's dead. He's not complaining anymore. But yeah, like, this guy was creating these scenarios in which he was claiming that the thief was screwed. Like, there's a GIF with a blunderbuss +5, and the GIF is 10th level and has weapon mastery and blunderbuss. And he's sitting off in the corner of the room in a way that can't be seen from a window, and the thief sneaks in. Well, boom, the thief is just dead. And it's like, no, you roll for surprise. And also, if someone can hire a 10th level GIF with weapon mastery and blunderbuss, and they have a blunderbuss +5, I sure hope that you know what you're getting yourself into, because if you don't, then yeah. If you stumble into a dragon's lair, and the dragon eats you, and you didn't do your research before stumbling into the dragon's lair, it's kind of on you. It's kind of on you. Trying to recreate Tomb of Horrors is proof you suck as a GM. Yeah, like I pointed out, did the thief, like, do no casing? Did they not case this place? Did they not, you know, check to see who's coming and going? Because where are these GIFs sleeping? How many GIF actually are there? You know, if a thief is just like, I'm gonna go break into a noble's house tonight. I've never even thought about doing this before. I'm just gonna do it tonight. You know, you kind of deserve what you get if you're not doing your research first. It behooves you to do your research. It really, really does. $32 gifts sleeping in 3 shifts. I mean, yeah, that could be a thing. So, you know, are you checking these GIF out? Are you you know, like, how long can this wizard, you know, or can this noble do this? How long can he afford to keep these guys hired for, you know? to have a situation where the GIF is just waiting there at the window, ready to fire at the thief coming in, the GIF would basically have to know that that's coming, and at what time, and through what window. I think you got a bigger problem there. Never actually played tabletop D&D. It sounds interesting, but you don't know if you could roleplay enough. You wouldn't want to be the person who plays it as a game, if that makes sense. So, there's, like, especially for your first time, it's perfectly fine to just, like, you know, get in and feel your way around and stuff like that. Like, anyone who is looking for new players should be fine. I mean, I guess, like, if they're specifically saying no new players, but if people are open to new players, then they're going to help you. You know, teach you the skills to roleplay and stuff like that. Like, it's also perfectly fine to just, like, start a game out and be like, this is my fighter. His name is Bob. You know, obviously, if the Dungeon Master says, come up with a more creative name, okay, you know. He could be Bob Tor, you know? He's Bob Tor. That's your fighter's name. He uses a longsword and a shield, and he bought chain armor. Mail armor. You know? He's ready to go. He's up for whatever the rest of the party wants to do. There's nothing wrong with that. You've established what your character is, up for whatever the rest of the party wants to do. Just wants to go out and have an adventure. Boom. Taking that. And you know, taking that as the base. You're ready to roleplay right there, and that's your roleplay. He's up for whatever the rest of the party wants to do. You don't need to have this complex character with a deep backstory about, you know, a deep tragic backstory or anything like that. You can if you want. But if you just want Bob Tor who's ready to go around hitting things. Bob Bing for apples. I basically ignore that Kinshir because it's silly. Just how expensive would that be, having 32 GIF all geared out like that? Pretty expensive. Considering that they want to be charged, they want to be paid in either smoke powder or its equivalent monetary value. And if they're higher level than a standard GIF, then it should be more. It's pretty expensive. So a thief who's planning on breaking in, who catches wind that the noble has hired that many GIF, he could also just keep dropping hints that he's going to break in, and then just not, and watch this this noble spend tons and tons of money. And giggle incessantly. The sole reason your 5e character who was a chef went out adventuring was because their town was in danger. I will say that one of the things that I'm not a fan of in character creation is when people specifically have a goal that... Sorry, I missed a part. Missed some pieces. Yes, I did. Okay. A goal that, when that goal is done, it kind of means that they have no reason to adventure anymore. So what happens when the town is safe? You retire the character? I mean, obviously, if that's the whole point of the adventure, the campaign, and when the town is safe, the campaign is over. That's a different story. Not saying that as a criticism. That's just a personal thing. Other dungeon masters are fine with that kind of thing. And really, as long as the player can tell me why they will keep adventuring afterwards, then I don't have a problem with that. Or telling me up front that they will retire the character and make a new one when the time comes. Also fine with that. What sorts of guns are available to GIF? Depends on the rules being used. In Standard 2E, just arquebuses and Star Wheel-lock pistols. If you use the Combat and Tactics firearms rules, it's a wide variety of things. There's also some additional rules that have some other things as well, like rebalds and stuff like that. I tend to just stick with wheel-locks and arquebuses. Wheel-lock pistols and arquebuses. Most of the party was in the same sort of boat, and it was going to take a while because the town wouldn't be safe until the giants attacking the kingdom was dealt with. Yeah, I mean, as long as the Dungeon Master is fine with it, then it's perfectly fine. Obviously. I just realized that, like, we had a couple characters like that in the Spelljammer campaign that didn't last, and I think that may have been one of the reasons why, kind of thing. Alright, so that goes right there. We have a Translight Blue Feather Flame element. You know, it's just one of those things, like, I would make sure at this point to get that clarification that I hadn't done earlier with those characters, kind of thing. There we go. Alright. L bars. And a black hot dog. There we go. Nice curved bar. Had not thought of using a hot dog as a curved bar. What if you made a cleric whose backstory reason for adventure is to travel the world in search of new ways to heal or help people? Yeah, I mean, it's open goals are great. Like, you just want to have adventure, you know? That's a goal. You know, you want to get rich. What is rich? It's an open goal. I want to learn new ways of healing. Well, the only time that your character, you know, your character is only done with that when your character says they're done with that. So, yeah. And if the campaign is always going to be local, then yeah, I'm adventuring to protect the town. The town is never safe until the character decides that it's safe at that point. But yeah, if it's like a specific threat, like or something like that, like we had a character who their goal was to find their kidnapped master, and once that happened, it was like I could tell that he hadn't given much thought about continuing on. Alright, spare parts. We got a 3L bar in black, sand blue 1x1 plate, gray 1x1 tile slope, dark gray 1x1 tile with round end, black longhorn bison horn, a black hot dog, translite blue feather flame element, and a black 1x1 cylinder tile with top peg. Alright, next up, 25 and 26. Alright, Sealan, have a good rest of your night. Thank you very much for coming on out. Sole goal is to make the Green Dragon admit that pickles are the best food in existence, and you will travel the world until he admits it. Oh, look, you traveled the world and met a Tarrasque, and the Tarrasque ate you. Oh, that's too bad. Oh. Obviously, if the dungeon master is like a dungeon master may say, I want specific goals that I can integrate into the campaign, and that's, you know, that's a situation in which, yeah, you would definitely want to make a very specific goal. But it's always good to have it open-ended enough. No problem, Vigistry. Enjoy your lurk. Like, for example, it could be a thing where, you know, you want the goal to be that you're out there to rescue someone. But you could also be like, you could have been hired to do that, because that's the kind of thing you do, or something like that. So right there, that is a goal, but it is not a character-defining goal as well. And obviously it all does, you know, it really does depend on what kind of game the Dungeon Master is working on and stuff like that. That is quite the hairdo. This person is really going for that 80s style hair. Go and zoom in on her. Look at that hair. That is quite the hair. That is quite the hair. It's a really purple outfit and hairdo, yeah. I think this hairpiece we got it on like an 80s rocker in a minifig collectible minifig set. But yeah, like when creating a goal for a character, always like check with your dungeon master to see what fits for the campaign. That's the important thing. Make sure they can integrate it, work with it, that kind of thing. I mean, the first time that I ever roleplayed in a group, I was actually handed a character. Like, I was so new that I didn't have any of the books. I didn't really know anything at all. So the Dungeon Master made a character and gave it to me to play. I actually do not remember that character's name, but I do remember that they had a horse named Cottonwood. So yeah, I mean, basically all that is to say, if you want to get into tabletop RPGs, just find people who want to who will have you in a group and just dive in. And so all horses have been Cottonwood in the end. I have used that horse name multiple times since then, yes. I was fond of that name. There are... I think it's more of a... I do think that... I mean, not... For me, at least, I see tabletop RPGs as a social thing. Horses are all of the same lineage. I mean, there are a few solo RPG, solo 2E games in old Dungeon magazine issues. And they're basically like choose your own adventure things. I've never actually gone through them because, for me personally, I'd either prefer just like writing material or playing a computerized version of tabletop, like gold box games kind of thing. But it certainly can be a way to get in and get a feel for it without worrying too much about whether you're going to embarrass yourself or something like that. Alright, side stud piece. We want the animal head there. Where is that side? There it is. One campaign, a player was a first edition cavalier. Cavaliers gain benefits on horseback. Unfortunately, war horses frequently die, so he was building monuments to his steeds across the land. See, and that could be a fun role-playing thing. You know, like, what are you going to do with your money that you get from adventuring? Well, build monuments to your dead steeds who served you so well. That's pretty great role-playing right there. So this piece right here is there's a sticker that goes on there. It looks like it's for a mailbox element. And that's a Minecraft head element, animal head element. Build monuments to all the perished steeds, and all of them were named Cottonwood. Cottonwood 1, Cottonwood. Cottonwood the 2nd, Cottonwood the 3rd, Cottonwood the 4th. Alright, 2 side stud elements, 1x1s. And honestly, like, some of those little things are what I find gets remembered the most. Like that same campaign that I had that the character given to me. It was a Dragonlance campaign, and we had a player with a Minotaur character and a player with a Kender. And there was a running gag, and it was only treated as a gag rather than, like, with any kind of mechanical effect. But periodically, the Minotaur would just pick up the Kender by his feet, shake him out, and everyone would collect up their stuff. So you have both the, you know, the character trait of the handling, the thievery, without it being annoying, without it being detrimental to the other players. Because one thing that a lot of people, I feel like, don't seem to think about when they're thinking about some of these things is that the game is still supposed to be fun. If there are elements that obviously would not be particularly fun, maybe you're playing it wrong, you know? It is possible. Oops. That is actually that way. That doesn't, of course, mean that you should give a first-level wizard a Meteor Storm, because that would not be fun. The Dungeon Master needs to have their fun, too. That would just be overpowered. Sleep is OP enough at first level. But it's only OP then. What makes it work is the fact that when you get much higher level, it's no longer OP. So got some shelving here. And 2 more shelves. Honestly, with the Discord D&D campaigns you're on, it's fun to just enjoy the role-playing aspect as well as the RPG aspect. Yeah. And there is, like, talk about making sure that characters, like, one player's character doesn't, like, outshine the others, isn't taking the whole spotlight. But there are definitely players who don't want to be in the spotlight. You know, they're just there to come along for the ride. Like I said, you know, your fighter is, he's just out for adventure, and he's happy to go along with the party and what they're doing. Alright, let's see. These are going to go on the bottom. I just want to hit things. Tell me what to hit. Yeah, exactly. If you're not comfortable, like, leading the role-playing charge of negotiating with the Duke, or whatever, you don't have to. I do think it behooves players to be interested in what other characters are doing. So when their character is not, like, doing the thing, like sneaking around, they should be interested in what the other what the sneaky character is doing and paying attention to that. I want to make sure that the mold marks on these 2x4s are hidden. There we go. Get that on there. Yeah, I mean, I think role-playing is really one of the most fun things to do. I highly recommend it. Anyone seen Grodd lately? Yeah, he's at the bar winning arm wrestling matches. Yeah, you know. You know, if you got the fighter, you could be like, yeah, I'm gonna, my character's gonna be in the tavern, just chatting it up with the other people or something like that, while the thief is off being sneaky. And then you, as the player of that character, just kind of like sit back and listen while the thief is off sneaking around and getting the reconnaissance information, or the wizard is negotiating with, or the bard is negotiating with the lord, or something like that. Like, this need to have every character involved in everything, I do feel like, feels weird to me. But I've always been one to be happy to sit back and listen while other people are doing their characters' things. Some characters will see their party as friends, others will see them as coworkers. Yeah, there's a lot of different ways that you can create the, you know, your party dynamic. That's when you get snacks. But, I mean, you could step away for a brief moment at that point, sure, but you should be engaged and entertained by what the other characters are doing too, when your character isn't there. Because if your character needs to be involved for you to be entertained by the game, that kind of gets to kind of selfishness, I think. Sure, like, I mean, if it's, yeah, I mean, obviously, like, that is a perfect time to be like, you know, run to the bathroom, grab a new soda, fill up your water, obviously. But yeah, I mean, that's only a couple minutes. But if you're like completely disengaging yourself while other people are doing things, and especially if you need to be caught back up because you were gone for 30 minutes while they were sneaking around, you know, you should probably consider why that's happening. and whether you might be a little selfish. Okay, 2x4 here. The sticker would go on there. You have to be a little selfish and bio break. You're not allowed. Sorry. You had difficulties shutting off your memory when not in the dialogue? I'm not sure what you mean by that. So we got a, I'm assuming that this is going to be a shop of some sort. We got shelves of items. Nice light aqua walls there. Means your character would cite info that you weren't supposed to know. Gotcha. And that's understandable. I like, to a certain extent, it'll depend. If it is... You know, if it's the kind of thing where, like, the thief is like, you know, all right, I'm going to go scout this place, I'll report back. Once the thief gets back, then I definitely assume the thief tells everyone what they learned, unless they specifically say that they're holding something back, in order to make that not a problem. Player knowledge versus character knowledge is challenging. That's why... If you've played the module before, you let the newbie decide the way we go? Yeah. And there's also an element of, like, making suggestions while your character isn't there. Sometimes that's okay if it's the kind of thing where, if the characters have a planning session... then I do think there's an element of it's okay to make suggestions, because it's like, we had a planning session. We don't know everything that our characters do. And so in a later situation, you might be like, oh, this is probably something my character would have been able to advise you on. Yeah, that's okay. But, if it's like, the thief is off, exploring, and sees a, left and right turn, and someone who's not there is like, go left, go left. Yeah, that's something that person, that player needs to be quiet about, probably. And really, the best thing is to just be quiet in a situation like that. Just try to make that effort of being quiet. And listen. And these are all skills. Oop. Pop that off right there. There we go. So we have more products in shelves there. Okay, a back door for this one. Yeah, I mean, they're all learnable skills, learned and learnable skills. And if there's ever a situation where, like, you know, your character encounters a monster that, you know, you as the player know about, you know, you can always just say to the dungeon master, it's like, what does my character know about chimeras, kind of thing, you know? Or does my character know X? Although you need to be careful about that if that might tip off other players. One thing that I try to like I don't like to have happen is like someone has a suggestion of like I'm gonna do this, and then a bunch of other people are like, oh yeah, I want to do this too. You know, like I'm gonna use my spellcraft proficiency check to see if I know anything about this. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do it too. That is oftentimes one of the things where I'll be like, no, the player who said that is the one who gets to do it because they're the one who thought of it. You know, there's sometimes an element of like, I have a better stat, let me do it. Well, no, they're the one who came. That player is the one who thought it up, so their character is the one that gets to do it. Salad-made sandwiches will be made shortly. I hope you brought enough for the whole family. Can I assist? Asks the 9-int barbarian. I mean, if it's an actual, like, I mean, I know that's a mechanic in later editions, but if it is an actual assisting thing, like, you know, I'm going to pull up the rope. You know, if that's the kind of thing where like, the wizard's like, hey, can we pull up the rope? Or I want to pull up that rope. And someone else is like, can I help? Yeah, sure. That's fine. But if it's a case of, you know, I have the better stat, I should do this thing that you thought of that I did not think of, I'm going to usually let the player who thought of it make the check. Barbarian could be very knowledgeable about the wilderness versus the urban thief, yeah. And even if not, even if it's like magic and the barbarian player is the one who thought of something, it's entirely possible that he has heard a thing that the wizard has not. Or he has experienced a thing that the wizard has not. But yeah, I really do like to give the player who thought of a thing the chance to do it. Because that rewards the players for thinking about, you know, trying to think about ways to solve problems and stuff like that. In 5e, you know how to make a religious barbarian, aka the Flagellant. Acolyte background, Path of the Zealot. Bam, Flagellant. What if the barbarian thinks of a thing they think the party's wizard might be able to do? So that can be a little different. Like if the player is like, I'm going to ask the wizard, hey, can you do a thing? That's different. And sure, yeah. Then I could be like, okay, wizard, roll the spellcraft check. But that's also a very different situation than I want to, you know, than someone wanting to do a thing. You know, asking someone if they can do something is definitely different. 2x4, a sticker would go on there. there. Well, it's not just I roll a spellcraft check. It's can I roll a spellcraft check to determine, you know, thing. That's a very different situation. You know, if the barbarian is instead, hey, wizard, what do you know about XYZ? Then yeah, I mean, that's an opportunity for the wizard to then make the check themselves. Nope, a 1x2 tile right in there. That is not going to stay in at all. Oh god, that is not going to stay in at all. Alright, slide it back there. Okay. Get some flowers on here. Yeah, absolutely. That is what the spellcraft check is for, in general, in 2E, is like... Actually, is supposed to go right there. Do you know this thing about magic, essentially? Right. Some vines with some pink flowers on them. Very nice. Okay, that goes over here. There we go. That is a really narrow way to get back here to this, the back door. Jeez. How many wizards have limited wish in Game World? Not very many. But that is a common spell. Like it is definitely the sort of thing that you can have knowledge about something that you may not have seen or experienced before just because it's common. Like, you may never have seen or, you know, experienced a fireball, but it's a pretty common thing. Also, I missed a 2x3 tile. Where does this go? Oh, that goes here. Is that the one with the goat tile? Let's see. It is. This is the one that gets the goat wanted poster. I'll show off the stickers eventually as well. You have knowledge of nuclear weapons, but you have not seen one? Well, you've seen pictures. It's a little bit different. But yeah, you don't know anyone who has a nuclear weapon, you don't know anyone who has used a nuclear weapon, but you still have knowledge of nuclear weapons. There are stories. Alright, aqua and blue 1x1 tiles, 1x1 quarter cylinder tiles in medium nougat and teal, an urchin in teal, an iridescent transparent gem, a bright yellow 1x1 plate flower, a brown 1x1 plate, a microfigure, black microfigure with some sort of Ninjago printing, silver scissors, and a brown small 3-stem plant as our spare parts. For flavor, you can have egotistical wizards naming their spells after themselves. Chirella's All-Seeing ESP. Or Chirella's All-Seeing, that's ESP, yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's an element of, like, the spell names that everyone knows, like that you have in-game. Fireball are not necessarily the spells that the characters know them by. Basically, just kind of depends on how you want to flavor things. There's a 10 by 10 plate with 2 rounded corners there. Oh yeah, you should always name most weapons. If the characters have an ability to know what a weapon is, like learn about its history and stuff like that, then it should always have a name. And it should always, and even if they can't learn these things, then it still should have a unique description. So that you're not just getting another sword +1, you're getting, you know, a long sword that has, you know, green dragons as the quillons, set with small garnets. The hilt is wrapped in naga hide, or naga hide, whichever you prefer. You hold in your hands a legendary sword, Betty. Betty? The wizard who made it wasn't very inventive. You have to understand these things. He tried, he really did, but he wasn't very good at it. Like Pillars of Eternity's legendary unique shield, which is literally a door to a larder, complete with a ring handle. Yeah, there's a few of those in Baldur's Gate, and it would not surprise me if Pillars of Eternity was inspired in part by those weapons in Baldur's Gate. I tend to assume that most of the enchanted items are intentionally enchanted, and not enchanted by people who would not have the ability to do the enchanting. Millicent, the Halberd of Wounding. See, and the fun thing is that if you're good enough about naming weapons, then you can cause your players to hate your guts with the names. I don't know how to pronounce this. Wraithers? What? Remember a sword or axe in the Encyclopedia Magica that was named and famous for shield cleaving, but it was just a normal steel sword in a time with softer shield materials? Yeah, I mean, like, you could definitely have weapons that have these legendary properties, but it's just because the person who used it was lucky, and it doesn't actually have any mechanical effect. The description of the door says, somewhere out there is a larder curiously missing its door. Alright, let's see. 8 of these. We need the bar holder with clip and the black candlestick. I mean, I would definitely come up with a real reason why a larder door was enchanted. A door would be very heavy for a shield, yes, it really would. Yeah, and like, I mean, but enchanting can reduce the weight. Like, there is that. But in general, like, normal shields should never be all metal, except bucklers. Even a small shield that's all metal, it would be hell to carry. Now, a magic shield could, you know, eliminate some of that. And it could be lighter than it should be. And that's perfectly reasonable. But a normal shield, nope. Wood, wicker, leather, those are standard shield materials. Alright, we do have an ad just about to start. Howdy, Shield of Hope, how's it going? Speaking of shields. Wooden shield with multiple iron bands running across it for sturdiness. Depends on the shape. They tend to be, like, nailed and rimmed. With a boss in the center, which what you hold it is connected to. And usually you don't actually hold a shield with your hand. Usually they're strapped to your arm. Heard shield, what are we talking about? Magic items in general, but also other stuff. Larder door would be similar in size to a Bavis, which is barely usable as a shield in melee if you're a beefcake. Yeah, you basically need those to be, like, standard Pavises are basically, like, wheeled or movable, like, barriers. And you'll lift it up and move it, and you stand behind it, rather than, actually hold it in your hand, kind of thing. Alright, we do have an ad that is just about to start, so let's go ahead and switch back on over to our Books Are My Passion. Okay, this is going to go here. So we have our ladder up to the top shelf. Don't actual historical shields have, like, a notch in one corner where you can place a spear, for example? Depends entirely on the shield and what culture is making it. Standard Norse shields are just round. Then you have, like, kite shields, Norman kite shields, which are rounded at the top and then go down teardrop shape. And then, of course, you have the later medieval kind of, you know, flat and then curved down to a point. The Romans, of course, used a lot of times the large rectangular curved shields. And Egyptians have kind of a figure 8 shield, and that, you could say, has a cutout, possibly for a spear. there's a lot of different shield sizes and shapes and appearances. Wide variety. One thing I love about the Osprey books is the all the different like shield designs you can see in them. Heater shields named for the resemblance to the clothing irons popular in the 19th century. Oh, I did not know that. Okay. So, spare parts in Books Are My Passion. We have a white saucer, a white teacup, 2 red small feathers, a brown 1x1 tile with a round end, a black 1x1 cylinder plate, and a clear 1x1 cylinder tile with top peg. That is the end of Books Are My Passion, which is a very cute set. I like the little globe up here, getting some more boxes. Great bookshelf design. I mean, this is like barely minifig scale. Like, this is gigantic. But it's really nice. It's really nice for the effects, and has lots of different book designs that you can put on. Angus McBride, the ultimate historical illustrator. He did a lot of work for ice covers, too. Yeah. Yeah, I love looking at the Middle-earth artwork that he did. Some great stuff there. Very nice-looking, comfy chair. Little plant nearby, and tea ready to be drunk. Very cute set. Go ahead and put that back there, because we will get back to the Ninjago set. Sandwiches. Alright, sticker would go on there. But yeah, like shield designs, like if you're warriors who are wearing light armor or very little armor will oftentimes have bigger shields. Warriors who need mobility will oftentimes have smaller shields. If you're a frontline phalanx type person, you will probably have a larger shield as well. I'll get some boring ham sandwiches with no pickles. You mean the delicious, bestest sandwiches. But yeah, if you're ever in a bookstore and they have some Osprey books, flip through them. There's some great artwork in them. One by one brick here. Pickles make sandwiches better. Lies. All lies. Deceit and lies. Falseness and lies. Evil and lies. Speaking of evil, I was listening to an audiobook of The Black Cauldron. Because it's been a while since I've read that. And I saw that the audiobook was available. And it got me thinking that Elendil is a pretty good example of lawful evil. And the kind of lawful evil that can kind of work with other characters. I mean, obviously in the story he doesn't, but you could definitely see him working with others, like a party. Not ones that are quite as good as the main characters in that book, but another party. Wikipedia's article on shields includes human shield in its list. It's unfortunately a thing. Black Cauldron. Remember what I was saying about players who don't pay attention? Alda's just jealous of your ability to eat and survive the eating of pickles. I can eat and survive the eating of pickles. I just wouldn't want to because they're gross and disgusting. I mean, I don't want them to kill me either. I just don't want to eat them. But the point still stands. The point still stands. The way I sound to you is that pickles would do serious damage to me. I mean, I might want to, you know, throw up. Because they're so gross. But they're not my kryptonite. I just don't like them. It's really as simple as that. And I totally judge people who do like them. Totally judge. Judge, judge, judge. Just like Dread. Cleric with a create food spell, but it's all pickled foods. Aha! Doesn't work that way. It's just all bland food. So, you know, you get British cuisine. You ain't getting pickles with create food. You're also not getting ham. It is very much just a, I just need to survive with this. Sad that the British had spices flowing in, and then World War II happened, and they lost all their food taste. I mean, they love their curry today. What if the spell has been fermenting for a while? Doesn't work that way. I mean, you could make a version that doesn't create bland food, but it's going to be higher level. Or you're creating a lower amount. I don't know. I don't know anything about pickles other than they're bad. Expecting me to know things about pickles? Jeez. So a sticker would go on there. And we slip this bed right in there. Yeah, but it's still all bland. Oh, I think I know what this is going to be. All right. Like, the point of create food, making food that's bland, is so that your characters don't want to subsist on it. Like, it's not just, like, bland as in doesn't have spices. It's bland as in tasteless. Like Gurgi's food wallet. According to a web search, they can be depending on how they're made, but pickling and fermenting are two different things. Character will do what you say and you and like it. You're the captain of this ship. That's where the dungeon master comes in. Okay, sticker would go on there again, and here we put it here, and it just kind of rests. With the tiles, it won't wobble too much, but it can slide. But that's an interesting way of doing a bunk bed. Kind of needs a ladder, though. Shouldn't the DM be neutral, though? Not allowing pickles sounds like a big bias to you. It's not biased to disallow pickles. It's just good sense. Pickles are good for travel? No, they really aren't. Because you'll die if you eat pickles. It's alright, it's not a spell in this game. That is an incredibly tiny room. Oh my god. Oh yeah, pickling the thing is historical. I'm teasing the pickle freaks. I mean, preserving food. More like ruining food. Dragon is hating on pickles again. Make him stop. I know, I'm so mean. I'm so mean. But that's why I'm a dungeon master. Salted fish. Alright, corner there. 1 by 4 there. I mean, there's other things than just hardtack. There's nuts, dried fruits, cheese, jerky, pemmican. $12-course meal at the Duke's Castle. You know, just the things that you'd want to take on travel. Just take the whole castle with you, you know? It really is the Worcestershire sauce, if you know what I mean. Eh? Probably should put the glass in before I do that. Oh, you know you liked it. Admit it. Boo, boo hiss. Why are you booing? I'm right. Whenever someone says hardtack, the tap of 2 pieces of hardtack hitting each other. Oh, yeah. Hardtack. Breaks into Alt's basement, leaves a jug of processing garum. Now that's just mean. You watch someone on YouTube make garum? Could it have been Max Miller of Tasting History fame? Usain Boo earns. So you can tell Max Miller's a good dude because he likes Lego. When did those go on? Hold on. No. I do remember seeing these, but I did not put them on. Alright, so that goes on there, and this one goes there. I'm guessing that there's going to be something that slides in there. You also watched Max Miller make pemmican? Oh, yeah. Well, I think Ship's Biscuits are, like, the ship version. Hardtack was common for road travel. We got brown skeleton legs here. Like, if you were going on a long journey by road, you'd get a hardtack. You probably would not have called them Ship's Biscuits. Yes, they are. They're basically the same. But even if they're made the same, like, hardtack is basically for road travel, ship's biscuit is for ship travel kind of thing. Okay. Alright, so spare parts. We got an aqua and a brown 1x1 plate. Bright orange 7-petal flower. Bright orange hair ribbon, hair bow. 1x1 cylinder plate in black. 3L bar in brown. 1x1 quarter cylinder tile in light azure, medium azure, whatever it is. A brown 1x1 tile with round ends. A beige 1x1 cylinder tile with waffle print. And a black 1x1 cylinder plate with bar. It's a weird wand I have in my hand. I think the 3L bars did come out as Harry Potter wands. Well, no, because they first did the 4L bars as wands, which are the lightsaber blades. They're still called lightsaber blades on by Lego. Okay, let's get that right up here. Okay, let's put it on that side first. There we go. That works. The two backgrounds in 5E you like aren't ones you can be in Baldur's Gate 3, as they're more you were raised in a non-standard environment. It's not that LEGO couldn't come up with a better name, it's that that's what it was originally created for. Alright, let's do a 29 and a 30. Got these large doors. Let's see, how long is that door? It's 3x5, okay. Oh no, 3.5 by 5. Interesting. Actually, it's not, like, these are, like, really centered. I guess that's because they are designed for the height, not the width, but trans-purple glass, that's cool. Get those over there. I mean, Fairy was, like, one single place. And that's in a single novel. Feywild, as far as I'm concerned, is brand new. And there isn't anything similar to it in older D&D. Alright. Let's turn that around here. Yeah, but the plane of shadow is completely different. The demi-plane of shadow, I should say. Hey, it's a demi-plane. I know it did. I'm talking about the 2E. When I said demi-plane, I was indicating that in 2E. Alright, so a sticker would go on that. Again, like, why would I want to put a sticker on this lovely trans-purple window pane? I do not have one of those. No, background music is all Suikoden right now. After having finished Suikoden 2, I'm on a bit of a Suikoden kick. Very tempted to spend some spare time playing through Suikoden 3 again. Sweet, sweet codeine, oh yeah. AKA Suikoden music. Currently on Ghetto Chapter 2. Last of the Chapter 2s. Sadly, I don't remember the specific events of the various chapters, but Ghetto chapters are always good. Alright, so we're making 2 of these. We got 12L axles. Alright, so 1, 2, 3. Alright, 9 of these. Not ready for Thomas Chapter 2. First one was something else, oh boy. It grows on you, I think. I mean, to each their own. Okay, there's 9 there. The kobolds in Suikoden are adorable. What about the Nay kobolds, Bahamut? There we go. Okay. And they go in like this. There we go. That is a pretty neat way of doing columns. Too bad these spin, so you can't line these up very easily. Okay, get that on there. That's supposed to be a bed? I hope this is not supposed to be a bed, because this is A, impossible for a minifig to get in. B, good lord, is it a tiny little space. Even setting aside the fact that you can't get a minifig in. So a gold window frame. I don't think I've had any. Great for side sleepers. I suppose that's fair. Ridley Wizen is still the cutest, most adorable kobold in Suikoden 2, no matter how many times he'd complain about it. You just like him because he'd take a bite out of crime. I mean, in neither of my LPs do you get to see his son. Because I didn't let him die. I don't know, you might like his son better. He has a kid, yep. You only see him if he dies. It might be another relative, but I think it's his son. Hugo Chapter 2 was fairly short. Basically, you went to Great Hollow to tell yours and Lulu's mom that things really went wrong. Chris's Chapter 2 was about the festival in Ixay, and then Chris went off on her own with Nash. Ghetto starts in Caleria, and next is Labuk. I thought Chris goes off with Nash at Chapter 3, and it was Chapter 4 that she's off with Nash. It's been a while, though, so I could be misremembering. Ridley is more adorable than his son. Okay. You hadn't seen him, so thought it was fair to mention it, in case you might feel different. You have not done any Chapter 3s. Okay. I could just be misremembering. Chris's non-knight outfit is the best in the game. It is very much a shame that we do not get more of her in that outfit. That's fine. No need to apologize. I was mentioning it in case you liked him better. Did not like the armors as X and Knights wear? Yeah, it's a little bit boring. I mean, at least it's not... I will say this. They didn't give her boob plate, which is impressive and appreciated. Like, it's actual plate armor. You noticed and you were surprised I didn't? It is one of the reasons why I do appreciate Chris as the main character. The way I do it. Okay, that goes on right there. It's more that Ridley looks like McGruff, the crime dog, and his son looks too much like Lady from Lady and the Tramp. Yes, I have heard not quite that comparison, but that essential sentiment from people who do not like his son. He is a kind of a fancy pupper. You had an idea for a stone giant foundling character. Eventually takes the feat that allows him to cannonball a pebble. There's a spell for that. Turn pebble to boulder. Hey, never apologize for your preferences. I mean, you know, what you like is what you like, and there is nothing wrong with that. Just wanted to make sure that you had the full smorgasbord available to you, shall we say. There we go. I wonder if they like. I mean, it's Japan, so it's not exactly. I don't know that McGruff like had any influence impact over there at all. I do kind of wonder if it was intentional or not. I assume not. You can be a little predictable with which characters and video games you like. Hey, so can I. I mean, that's why I knew you'd like Merrick. Moxie the Mutt needed a walk. Give her scritches for us. There's nothing wrong with being a little predictable with what characters you like. Did someone mention Pretty Boys? Because that's what you like? There is specifically a combo, like not a combo attack, but a pair of characters in at least the first 3 Suikudens. I don't know if it persists through 4 and 5, but the Pretty Boy combo. You've got Alan and Grenseal in Suikoden 1, you've got Camus and Miklatov in 2, and Percival and one of the other knights in 3. They have the same stars on in each game. And I think they are canonically like the Pretty Boy pair or something like that. Scritches receive Wagging Tail and Goofy Grin. Aww. Some characters outside that you like. Hazelmon from Digimon. You know. I mean, it's not a strict thing, ever. And sometimes it can be fun to see what characters you end up liking that may surprise you because they don't normally, you know, match your tendencies, shall we say. Let's see. Yes, 1 by 5. Okay. Like, one of the reasons why I have the tendencies I have is because of Islandwe in the you know, the Book of 3, Black Cauldron, the Pride and Chronicles. I know where it came from. Alright, get some grill slopes. Like Ox and Bow from Breath of Fire 1, Rand and Sten from Breath of Fire 2, Gar and Ray from 3. Yeah? Gurgi does want crunchings and munchings. It's interesting how many Mesopotamian bits there are in that I did not pick up as a child. Gurgi is obviously Enkidu. I think Breath of Fire may have helped shape your tendencies. Yeah, it's always interesting to look back on the things and be like, that like especially if you revisit it after not having visited it in a while, and be like, I understand things about myself now. I always knew that about Island though. Howdy, Tipoli, how's it going? There's the 2x3 sloop. And we want the tile over there. I mean, I know viewers of my channel will be shocked to know that I like Islandwe from the Pride and Chronicles, because it's not like I've ever given any indication at all, you know. Definitely have never used her name in anything. No siree. Oh, I mean, everyone does have a spectrum, yeah. Only alien men. The appreciation for redheads? Never noticed, yeah. I mean, I try to keep it hidden, you know? Do a pretty good job of it, too, really. Yeah. Alright, 1x5 there. The Triple E Club. Yeah, I also have a thing for names that start with E, you know? Definitely started with Islandwe. And I need some black ingots there and there. Alright, 3 1x4 slopes. Did I? Okay, no, they're going on here. Alright. Also some bad boy characters. Nothing wrong with that. Alright. 1x1. A little wiggle room and gap right there. Oh, alright. I missed that. 1x2 goes there, and a 1x1 goes back there. There we go. Some villains are great to hate, but not people you want to ever be around in reality. Oh, yeah. Barrett's nice, but he tends to be a little too intimidating to you. I mean, a lot of villains are kind of designed to be, designed to be hated, you know? Okay, and then we are using these doors. With 1x2s with clips and black ingots. What, like Luca Blight? I know, it's so weird. He was, clearly designed to be, beloved. Mad Madame Mim. Has it really been that long since I've watched Sword in the Stone that I do not remember that character? Alright, let's see. Yeah, got all that. Alright. Turn it around. Get the 6L bar. Get, as I call it, the dog side stud element. A sticker will go on here, but I'm not putting that on. Purple Crazy Witch. I do not know. Like, this does not sound familiar at all. It has obviously been a really long time. I am kind of surprised. Another katana if you're ever, you know, around here and a fight breaks out. You know? Just katanas growing from the swamp, as they do. As they do. Well, I will probably look to see if Sword in the Stone is on Disney Plus after this, because, like I said, I have not seen it in a very long time, if I do not remember this character at all. I cannot remember the last time I saw it, honestly. Alright. It is terrible to try to get this this piece on here like that. So let's do that. Alright, let me look. Oops. Nope, stop trying to highlight portions of the PDF mouse. Jeez. Alright, let's see. Oh, okay, I remember the dragon form now, yeah, alright. I don't remember the other two forms, but I do remember the dragon form. Shocking, I know, right? Very similar to one of Ordu, Orwen, or Orgok from the Black Cauldron. Again, shocking, I know. It's one of the reasons you use the quote, "Dark sorcery is your cup of tea." Howdy, Peanut. Yes, we are building bricks. Although, we are getting to the end of the stream time. Although maybe I'll go a little bit longer. Okay, get into that. There we go. There we go. Alright, so spare parts, a white frictionless half pin, and a gray 1x1 plate. That's our spare parts. And sure, let's go a little bit more. 31. Alright. We do have an ad break coming up. Let's go ahead and move these minifigs. And grab the other half of the set. Is backseating allowed? Yes, you can backseat my building. No, no, put the brick, no, put the brick there, no, oh my god, you're doing it wrong. Alright, let's go ahead and move that. I can snooze that ad break for a little bit. Okay, so bag number 31. Is backseat cooking allowed? Yes, you can tell me what to set my oven to. No burning food in car. The smell never gets out. There we go. You love me some homemade backseat? Oh my. Alright, some hair. Pair of heads, torso, a pair of legs, torso, hat and staff. Where's the trans yellow head? There's a trans yellow head and a gold 1x1 cylinder plate. Okay, there we go. Tell me you connect the two set pieces with more than just that one bridge. There's going to be another level up here, and these spots, this is going to be where, like, parts are going to be crossing there. Oops, nope, that is the wrong head. He's got a hearing aid. Actually trying to use radishes and salads to give them a bit of radish flavors. Can't seem to do it. Radishes are getting lost in the mix. Are you using salad dressing? Maybe don't use salad dressing or use a lighter dressing? Seems like an optical illusion. Oh, I mean, like, the fact that this is the same color as this, maybe? Like, here's the line of the base plates. Alright, let's go ahead and zoom in on both of these characters. Nice outfit that's useful for, like, a... like, you could use this in a Japanese or Chinese peasant outfit kind of thing. So that's pretty cool. And some overalls. Am I still in it doing any Let's Plays on YouTube? Oh, yeah. That's not stopping. That's never going to stop. Well, yeah, I mean, it'll stop when I die. Is that Ma Kent? Could be. Maybe she's visiting Ninjago City. Get through there, please. I hate trying to push these through. Come on. Good lord. Get through the piece. Like, it's just a matter of, like, wiggling it until it finds the hole. It was because of my Let's Plays that you're here now. Back in 2018, you were watching my FF3. You loved the voice acting. Well, thank you. Well, yeah, there's still plenty of LPs going up. Working on Golden Sun right now. Monkey Island 2 is finishing up. Eiyuden Chronicle is gonna start when that wraps up. We have Lego building next Monday as well, but that's only until later in the week when Dragon Quest 1 and 2 come out. We'll be back to streaming games on Monday. Good God. What is the problem here? There we go. Okay, there we go. Just had to wiggle it. That's what she said. All right. So up here, I want a 1 by... I need a 1 by... Nope, that is the right one. All right. I'll make you feel old? Well, that's the plan. That's the plan. It's like I've never played them before or something, you know? Alright, there we go. Lock these in down there. Dark green 3x3. This part of the structure is kind of covering my chat right now, so I may need to swing this around soon, hopefully. Hopefully focus on one part at a time. There we go. Get that in there. And inside that 4x4, we get the 4x4 hinge base. Didn't they give you the option? No, there's no option for that I saw in the special edition. I think all is doing it on purpose to raise Lord Canis' blood pressure. Oh yeah, I mean that's true. I am, yeah. Okay, so 3 of these. Well, apparently the original game does have that option, but it seems like the special edition doesn't, maybe? Either that or I missed it. I mean, if I had had an option, I would have chosen the hard mode. Like, if they had given me an option, I would have chosen the hard mode, so... I don't know what the difference would be with the puzzles, really, anyway, so... whatever, you know. Do have an ad just about to start. I think I'm going to just build right through it because I finished up the Books Are My Passion. I'll have something different for Friday. I probably will do Broken Sword at some point. So good to know that that one has good puzzles. Alright, now these three. Right there. There. And right there. Then these two. There and there. There we go. Okay. Why does this part look bluer than that part? Alright. 4x6. The ads are just about to start. Never got through BW3. What is BW3? Okay, sticker would go on there, and sticker would go on the other side of here as well. Oh, yeah, Broken Sword. Okay, okay. Got it. You didn't know Lego also has music playing when you play them? Oh, yeah. They're doing, next year, they're going to have a whole bunch of minifigs with sound elements in them, and electronic elements. I'm not sure how I feel about that. It is probably safe to say that I will not be getting many of those sets. I know that... I think Harry Potter and Star Wars are getting those. I don't know if anything like Town, or City, I guess is what it's called now, will be getting any of those. So this box it's a box of frogs. Yep, frog boxing. Alright, there we go. And the 1x1 plate. Get that right on there. We are on 31, I think. It's well past 5 a.m. Loki is getting cranky. You think it's time for you to head off? All right. Thank you very much for coming on out. Sleep well. Don't let your kitties get cranky. Alright, inverted curved slopes. And side studs. Okay, let's see. We got teal 1x2 there and there. Corner tile. Black hat, 1x2 with center stud right there. Learned something about FF2 on the Dawn of Souls for the Game Boy Advanced. Oh yeah? I know Gilded Tongue's been playing that. Is that how you learned it, or just coincidentally? The final boss is healed by Toad. Oh, interesting. That is kind of bizarre. There's in the original game, I think there's some other situations where things are either healed by, like, healed by Toad or something like that, too. That's how you learned it? Neat. Alright, there we go. We got the sides on the boat. Okay, lots of brown 1x2 panels with three side panels, I should say. And then we have 1x2 panels with a center panel. There we go. 2x2 tile there, and another pair of brown tiles here. And a 1x2 ingot. Okay, so we got green claws. Red ball joints with green 1x1 plate flowers. Probably a sampan. I don't know that as well as I could, but it's definitely an Asian-style boat. I think that's one of those. Put that in there. And 2 red and 2 yellow claw pieces, probably for some peppers, yellow and red peppers. There we go. Get that in there. And I think that he is supposed to be on here, like, pulling it. There we go. A banana boat. No, those aren't bananas. Bananas are bigger. I think there's versions where the final boss is affected by Toad and the battle ends there. I don't think the final boss is affected by Toad in the original that I recall. But I do remember that there are, like, it is weird how some of these spells can do damage when they are, like, not really damaging type spells. Like Piggy and Toad and stuff. DK bananas especially. So the Donkey Kong sets do have a bunch of there are these in brown. Oh, but they're not available on Pick-a-Brick. That is very poopy. I need a bunch of these. But they came out with a bunch of new well, a banana bunch mold for the Donkey Kong sets, and then for the Mario Kart sets, they came out with the banana peel pieces. There we go, and then I'm going to make a little roof. It's an interesting way of doing the roof. I do like having these alternate brackets with the up and down, so that you can wrap a brick like that and get the same side studs going one way or the other kind of thing. It's pretty nice. I should probably put this in first, actually. There we go. And on that side, and then we have some Roman shields, like we were talking about. Rectangular, curved Roman shields, with a boss in the middle too. And these are the little roof of the little vendor thingy. A sticker would go on here. Of course, I'm not putting that on. 1x1 dome lights in here. And an orange leaf with a bright orange plate flower. I don't know what exactly that's supposed to be, but it's in there now. Okay. And that goes right there. Okay, so spare parts, 1x1 plate flowers in bright green and bright orange, 1x1 cylinder tile in bright orange, gold 1x1 cylinder plate, green 1x1 or 1x1 dome light, small claws in yellow and red, and Wolverine claws in green as our spare parts. Should probably figure out where some of these characters are gonna go, but we'll figure that out later. Actually, I'm not sure who's working at all of these different locations yet. All right, so it's difficult to get the whole thing displayed, but that is the first side where we started working on this side. Oops, that should be like that. But that is going to be where we wrap it up tonight. It does look like we are going to finish it sometime on Monday, which does mean that I will have to do some other stuff on Monday. Let me see. Like, I don't think the whole Monday stream is going to be this. Yeah, so I'll have to have some Halloween stuff to do afterwards. So I'll have to look at that and decide what we will be doing. Alright, well, let me go ahead and put that aside, because we have minifigs to do next. Now. Whatever. Let's see. Get things out. Alright. There we go. It's the Coliseum all over again. Yeah, it is a little large. It is a little large. Alright, so D20. I don't think there's 19 there. 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right. Let's start a prediction. Can all guess what is inside the minifig pack? Get your predictions in. DMs tricks players into playing a record of Lotus War campaign. That's just D&D. That's just D&D. All right, so let's go ahead and roll to see what the dice say. Panda guy, I'm going to re-roll because I don't think that there are any left. We're still trying to get the construction worker. We have not gotten her yet at all. All right, 5, Abraham Lincoln. So 11 from Nadaroge AI, that would be the Robo-Secretary. 13 for Bahamut, that would be Where's My Pants guy. Vigistry 16, that is the Mermaid. So go ahead and get your predictions in. Can I guess what is inside the minifig pack? About a minute to go. Minute remaining to get your predictions in. Can I guess what is inside the minifig pack? I'll go ahead and get my timer ready. 2 from Ice Oven, that would be President Business. Okay, timer is ready. Alright, so get your predictions in. Can I guess what is inside the minifig pack? Minotaur and Leonin competing in a cooking show with pickles as the main ingredient and Ald the head judge. Well, then they would just be failing entirely. I'd pull out a bag of Doritos and be like, this wins. You'd have the fanciest, Frenchiest food that food critics say is to die for, and I'd be like, Doritos are better. Alright, predictions are closed. Alright, so let's see. Get the timer ready, and go. Alright, what do I got? What do I got? What do I got? Let's see. That is a head. That is hair of some variety. Okay. Alright, 18.71. It is President Business. We're getting another President Business. No, Ald has lots of taste, which is why he doesn't eat pickles, because he doesn't want to destroy his sense of taste. That is indeed a President Business. All right, so let's choose the outcome. Once again, that was 18.71. Choose the outcome within 20 seconds. The hair tends to give it away because it's very angular. All right, who is getting the hams? Kinshir and Vigistry getting all the hams. Very nice. Lord Canis and Ice Oven going for 20 to 50. Shield of Hope going for 50 to 60. And Bahamut going for no. See, you've angered President Business now. He's angry. The talk of pickles has angered him. There we go. All right, let's go ahead and mark him down. So that is 4 of him that we've gotten. Okay, and next up we got Series 13. Which we got a bunch of these pretty quickly. It kind of surprised me. There's my D6. There's my D6. All right, 1. So we're going here. 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. The very last one. All right. Okay, let's go ahead and start that prediction. Can all guess what is inside the minifig pack? Get your predictions in. Let's see what my dice say. 7. All right, that is the Cthulhu Alien. 5 for Bahamut, that is the Goblin Raider. 6 for Vigistry, and that is the Lady Paleontologist. So go ahead and get your predictions in. Can I guess what is inside the minifig pack? 13 for Not-A-Rogue AI, that would be the Disco Diva. 6 for Ice Oven, also the Lady Paleontologist. So get your predictions in. Can I guess what is inside the minifig pack? A Minotaur Doctor and a baby Leonin chewing on the Minotaur's tail. Wow. Wow. It's a bad baby. It's a bad baby. Set that up to be on bag number 32 there. So get your predictions in. About a minute left to go. Less than a minute, I should say. Get your predictions in. Can I guess what is inside the minifig pack? So the ones that we have not gotten are the Fencer, the Cthulhu Alien, the Goblin Raider, and the Snake Charmer. Those are the ones that we haven't gotten. I mean, tastes like beef? I mean, it's the tail. And also, you kind of need to cook them. To get it to really taste like beef, it kind of needs to be cooked. Which, I mean, you know, I suppose it could be cooked. I don't know. Alright, just a few seconds remaining to get your predictions in. And there we go. Alright. Time is up. Let me go ahead and get my timer reset and ready to go. Alright. And go. Alright, what do we got? What do we got? Is that really what I think it is? Yep. Alright. Alright, 1505. We got the Space Mercenary again. Again. Yep, Space Mercenary again. I felt the guns. Alright, so 1505. So, since we got back into doing this, we have gotten 3 of these now. So within 20 seconds, complete that prediction. Alright, who is getting the hams? Kinshir and Shield of Hope getting all the hams. Very nice. Vigistry and Ice Oven going for 20 to 50. Lord Canis going for 50 to 60. And Bahamut going for no. It is a clone, yes. Yes. Attack of the Clones. Oh, I need to get the armor on there instead. With his visor up. There actually is no space for a real visor. Alright, let's go ahead and put his guns on his shoulders. Ready for him to not be able to grab them because he can't reach over and do so, but, you know. He's got the clips. Why not do so? Alright. So that is our third Space Mercenary. Hoping Lel Bunny approves of Minotaur guessing. I hope she can make it back again. Oops. No, don't click there. Alright. So that is that set. Now for the final one that we are working on. So we have gotten 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there are 7 remaining. Okay, so let's move them all around. There we go. Grab that one. Okay. Start the prediction. Can all guess what is inside of the minifig box? Get your predictions in. All right. Let's see. I need my scale. So we will make a guess. Then I will roll my die. Then I will weigh it, and we will see if any of them are correct. All right. So 4 for Isov and Vigistry. That would be orange and black. 9 for Bahamut. You're going to need to re-roll. 2 for Nadaroge Eye, that is black, gray, and teal there. Mercedes-Benz, that's Mercedes-Benz, okay. You can see the Mercedes-Benz symbol. Minotaur and Leonin in horror movie shenanigans. So, you know, F1, understood. 5? Yes, that would be the green one there. The other good one, the other green one. Alright, a minute to go. Get your predictions in. Can I guess what is inside the minifig box? Go ahead and pull up my scanner. Okay. Scanner is all up and ready to scan. So get your predictions in. Can I guess what is inside the minifig box? I don't know what I'm going to do when I'm down to just, like, the current minifig sets. Because we're going through these pretty... maybe not super-duper fast, but... I only have 5 old sets left that we have not really touched, so... you know. There's not that many left. So go ahead and get your predictions in. Nope. All right, predictions are closed. All right, first of all, my guess is 5. It's got to be 5. So my guess, there's 5. It's 5. So I'll put that there. The die roll is 6, so we got to re-roll. 8. All right, so that is 8. And let's roll, or let's, actually, you know what? I can use a D10. Because it cannot be 11 or 12. All right. And weighing it, 24.76. Like all the others, it's got to be number 2. That weight specifically is the teal helmet right there. So that is going to be 2. All right. So let's see which one it is. All right. Visa Cash App. Oh, my lord. Hold on. Come on. Scan again, please. All right. So that is blue. Okay. So that is 8. Yep. So that is 8 right there. Which is the die roll. That is the die roll. All right, let's choose the. Well, actually, let's open it up to verify. Visa Cash app. I wonder if they have to license these separately from the company that has the car, or does it come with the F1 license? All right, so choose the outcome. That is yes with die roll. Let's complete that prediction. And who is getting the hams? Ice Sovereign getting all of the hams. Only one going for yes with die roll. Kinshir and Vigistry going for yes with guess. Lord Canis going for yes with wait. And Bahamut going for no. Very nice. All the hams, indeed. Something made you happy last month? You saw a place in the restaurant you go for breakfast that does a thing for pay it forward type thing? Oh, that's nice. All right, so let's go ahead and make Team Visa Cash app. Which, it's a team, apparently. Same exact printing on the wheels, which I think is always black. Which certainly makes it a little bit easier for them to do these. You don't have to change the color. Yeah, no, it is. It is. It's just a weird team name, because, I mean, that's the company that's sponsoring the team. It's like, it's not Ferrari, it's not Mercedes-Benz, it's not a car company. Like, that's what's weird to me. Let's see. That's probably the side. That is probably the side. Yeah, those are the sides, so that is the front. The logo spoiler is nothing special. All right, understood. Understood. There we go. The FBI director is sponsoring a car? Yes. Yes. Visa Cash Patel team. That's it. Alright. The white head. And the gray helmet. I mean, I do think the helmets are pretty neat. Let's actually see what this would look like. I mean, you can't see his mouth at all, but it's kind of neat. I guess that is accurate to F1 helmets. Oh, I actually don't know his first name at all, his full first name. Interesting. All right, so our spare parts are a blue 1x1 tile slope and a white 1x1 plate and white 1x1 quarter cylinder tile. So that is the Visa Cash app race car. Add it to our growing list of race cars. Okay, but that is going to get a check. So we know that we've gotten that one. So we have gotten 3, 6, 9, 12, 8, and 10. We have not gotten 1, 4, 7, or 10. Which is a little weird. Okay. But that is going to wrap us up for tonight. How many are left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we are halfway through the set. We're halfway through the set. Alright, I think that is just going to wrap us up for tonight. So I want to thank you guys for coming on out. We will be back on Friday to continue working on the Ninjago City Gardens. Probably will not finish it. I really doubt we'll finish it. So we will be continuing into Monday, and once it's done on Monday, we will do some Halloween sets, and I will have to decide exactly what Halloween sets to do. But I want to thank you guys for coming on out, and I shall see you next time.